It has to be PG.
There's a lot of safety precautions.
She has a white car, okay?
You can't compare the two.
Hi, I'm Tim Somerville.
And I'm Michael Dempsey, and this is Off the Market
With Team Somerville. We actually have a guest with us today, Brittany Donnelly, member of Team Somerville. So we're looking forward to this podcast so that we can introduce a great realtor, great friend, great associate. One thing we will do is, again, go off the market, go on the market, and hopefully we'll give you some great information today.
Absolutely.
So, Brittany, how many years have you been in the business now?
Going on 10?
10 years, double digits. That means she gets a watch, I think.
Yeah.
You?
Silver, though.
You're volunteering.
Well, here we go. Casio.
Yeah.
So,
You'll have Dora the Explorer on her.
oh yeah, Court.
Waterproof?
Wow, that's 15 years. Look at my house.
Listen, what did I get? I got one for my
25 years.
25 years. Yes. So, yes, I don't wear it. I love it. But anyway, yes. So, Team Somerville actually for my 25th anniversary gave me a beautiful watch. Has the red and black colors. I love it. And actually, I'm just not wearing it. So anyway, real estate's been busy. I don't know if you two are going through some multiple offers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I say I'm starting to see where we've had a couple nice days of weather, here and there. What I mean by that is the temperature is, above zero.
Oh, of course.
We're starting to see, I've noticed a little bit of pickup. So a lot of our old clients that we've kind of talked to or maybe even sold to in the past, they're starting to reach out.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, how's the market? I like my house, but I'm always curious kind of what's out there.
I agree.
So,
And saying that, knowing that the white stuff is not going to last anything we get now,
thank goodness.
that's great. That cold snap we had here not long ago, I'm just glad we're past that. My core temperature is still not to where it needs to be. So,
Yeah.
and we were supposed to go away. And of course, we weren't able to. The flights got canceled and everything else. And so, again, now we're just hoping for warm weather as quick as it can come.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we got spoiled there the other day.
Oh, yeah.
One really nice day.
Oh, yeah. Well, but guess what? More to come.
Yeah.
So with real estate, again, you've been in America, you've been a realtor now for almost 10 years. Good and bad, of course. I will ask you, Roy LePage, what do you think of Roy LePage?
Royal LePage is where I started. I ventured out and learned my ways. I ventured out, but I learned my ways and I came back here. I love the company. It's a Canadian company. It's our team specifically. It has everything that I could possibly want.
Perfect. And I know that this time of year, when you are looking at buying or selling, Brittany can help you specifically anywhere within southern New Brunswick. She's great that way. She can show properties anywhere from Charlotte County to the other side of Sussex. And I think you have.
Absolutely. Right across the board.
We'd love as realtors, you see those vehicles with all those stickers on the back of the vehicles. Could you imagine if we could put every town or village or city that we've been in?
Yeah.
My goodness. I think I'd need more than one vehicle to think I had them all.
A whole wraparound.
Oh, yes. So one thing I want to talk about today, because again, we are realtors and we drive in our vehicles and we love our vehicles and so forth, is that I did some research on what vehicles are the top selling vehicles in Canada. Okay.
I'm gonna sit back in my
Jack,
chair.
there
This
we
is
go.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know how you like your vehicle
Yeah.
and so forth. So I will tell you that the top selling vehicle in Canada has been for the last 17 consecutive years.
Honda Civic?
No, but you know what? You're close. No, the Honda Civic actually was the top selling vehicle as in car, not SUV, but for a car, it was the Honda Civic in Canada this past year.
Is it an SUV? Is that my hint?
Well, let's just say it's a series.
A series.
So it's the Ford. It's the Ford F Series.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, the Ford F Series has been the top selling vehicle in Canada for 17 years in a row.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no. Well, we have enough of. I actually have the numbers. I'll say them here in a moment, just to give you an idea of how many vehicles are being sold. Top SUV was the Toyota RAV4.
That was going to be my original guess. Yeah.
So to give you an idea, the F series, okay, last year sold over 138,000 vehicles. The RAV4 was just over 75,000 vehicles. And your Honda Civic was 31,000 vehicles. But you can tell with our temperatures and everything else. I mean, what a difference from a car to an SUV to the F series on how many actually sell. So thought that was kind of cool to go off the market and talk about that. What do you drive?
I have a
A white car.
Nissan Kick.
That's not a white car.
It's a-
She has a white car. Okay. Now Nissan, believe it or not, has the most affordable car that you can buy brand new.
Hence why I drive it.
Yeah, no, they have the Versa. The Versa you can get for just over 20K. So again, if you're looking for something brand new, and again, this day and age, I mean, I don't care if it's 2025 or 2020. The big thing is again, just make sure you have what's best for your family. For us, we're out all the time. One of my rules, I have two of them. Do your best to have an SUV because, of course, our weather. But number two is we are adamant about making sure our winter tires, of course, go on. And so, again, now that we're into daylight savings time, what I will tell you is the fact that, again, it's almost time to get those changed to all seasons. But don't rush that because we all know our Canadian spring
Belts and then
refreezes and
We've had a lot of white Easters.
you've got it. You've got it. So we have a couple great events coming up. St. John Home Show is coming up March 20th to 22nd. We'll be there. If you are looking for tickets, you can always reach out to us as well. What I always love is a couple weeks after that in Moncton is the boat show. So always fun to go to the boat show.
Yes.
It's great to dream. I have a dream. Yeah, I have a dream. And if you do want to dream, just go look at some of the boats that are there and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
we're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Maybe some of those new decks are cheaper.
maybe,
Maybe. They're really nice if you've ever seen them.
maybe. So what we always like to talk about, especially again, we had, the other Brittany from the team, Brittany Cram on here, is we want to ask, do you have any good or bad experiences you'd like to share? Something that happened to you within the last 10 years that you're like, oh my goodness, I remember this and remember as if it happened yesterday.
I mean, I don't know how how far we can go.
Yes, it has to be PG. That's to be PG.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta always do, no matter if you have your schedule booked, doesn't matter. You always gotta knock. You always gotta announce that you're there. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay, so
Okay.
okay. So we'll say it was without clothes then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, without clothes. Okay. Okay. So, after 11 p.m., watch this and we'll have the fully unedited. No, just not even let us get an air tech. I think we've all run into that. I remember running into one like that as well. When I ran into that, my client was from Ontario. So I remember knocking on the door and somebody standing up when they probably shouldn't have. And let's just say that, yes, okay. So, yes, and that has now been burned in the back of my mind.
I just remember years ago looking at a house with you, actually.
Oh,
And we were doing we were just doing a listing appointment, and the house was supposed to be vacant. And we went upstairs, and we just saw two boots
okay.
coming out of the end of the bed.
Okay. So,
I mean, you see a lot of houses, but there was two boots, but the blanket was over their heads, so we weren't sure whether. Well, turns out it was fine.
okay, yeah, they were alive.
They were alive,
Okay.
but it was very
Oh, yes, no, this.
jarring.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you. One thing about our business is the fact that every day is a different day, right? Michael, you know as well as I do that, again, just today you were out first thing this morning, out showing a property, and it's in the middle of nowhere. So we as realtors, we always have to worry about our security. And of course, when we go to some of these properties, you'd be surprised with what we come across.
There's a lot of safety precautions.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So, Michael, you may or may not have a couple things today, but I do want to mention one thing. When we look at real estate, there are really different types of property. There's your freehold and your leasehold in particular. And there are other styles that we could talk about. We could talk about condo and so forth. But I really want to focus on freehold and leasehold right now for a moment. Leasehold, of course, being mini home in a park. Leasehold, again, sometimes, believe it or not, when you buy a property, it's on government land, or of course, there are different reasons why you may or may not own the land. So freehold really comes down to that you do not only own just the property, that is the house, but you also own the land that it sits on. Okay. Do you have anything to maybe add when it comes to freehold?
Absolutely. I've had several clients reach out and ask, how deep of that land is mine?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Wow.
And they're like,
For
how,
rural rights?
yeah, how far can I dig?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good one.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I couldn't find an answer.
Yeah.
You know, I said, well, if you come out in China, you've gone too far.
Wow. And I know there have been times where there are different companies that have mineral rights, and they will come and they will send letters to assessed owners that they have the right to actually test their soil, the land, for different minerals. And so you have to watch for that as well. If you own a large parcel of land, there could be, again, different companies or different people that may try to claim that they have a right to dig or check your land for different minerals.
As long as Mr. Irving gives me a steak, I'm happy. 10%, call me.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah. The big thing though about freehold and leasehold that we should talk about is that with real estate, when you look at trying to mortgage a leasehold property, it can be difficult.
Yeah.
If you do not own the land and it is a house and you have maybe a 99-year lease, or there is some form of arrangement. In fact, we just did one like this on the west side of St. John. It can become a concern to your financial institution. And what is important is to know that everything should be in writing. So the bank is going to want to see the documentation. They're going to want to see that, again, that there's probably an association that meets each year. So again, you're going to want the minutes of the meetings. There are many things that you'll need. So please understand that if you do not own the land, chances are your financing will be a little more difficult and definitely different than a normal freehold property. You know, you may not even be able to mortgage the property, so you'll have to look at other options. You know, loan, line of credit, etc.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of camps go that route too.
Sure.
You know, where the
Yes.
government has opened up the land and they've allowed camps to be built and et cetera. And then you've got you're leasing from the government, or so we've even had some churches,
Yes.
establishments such as those.
Right.
So
Yeah. And actually we're talking about, of course, land, freehold, leasehold. You also have to understand that there are times, in fact, we are doing one right now on Loch Lomond Road, East St. John, that the well is actually not on the property. So because it's not on the property, the bank does not want to touch it because we don't have documentation stating what happens if the well runs dry. What happens if all of a sudden somebody cuts off the water source? So there are many reasons why documentation is crucial when it's not your standard real estate transaction. Okay. Now, talking about this as well, we can also get into, we talk about, your freehold, leasehold. We can also talk about chattels. Now, chattels, chattels are a bunch of different items. So what would be a chattel? Refrigerator? Fridge, yeah. Fridge and a stove are chattels, right? But your mini home is a chattel. And again, what we classify a chattel is that it's not real property. So that it is something that can be moved. Okay. So again, when we look at a fridge or a stove, now we believe that a chattel, for most part, when written in an offer, has to be free and clear of what's called encumbrances. So there's no liens, that it works, and when we look at that, it's very important because when you're buying a property, it could have a water softener that still has 5 grand owing on it. It could have a fridge and stove that still is on some type of, loan where, again, you have to make sure that every chattel that you put in an offer is coming to you free and clear. Okay. So when we talk about chattels and we talk about mini homes, I'll ask you, where are some of the parks that you can buy a mini home in St. John and surrounding areas?
Westmoreland.
Well, Westmoreland. So where's Westmoreland?
You're gonna be East St. John. East St. John, and aren't they also just?
So Westmoreland owes 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a portion of the KV. There's one, of course, out in Lattimore Lake. And there's also one right down on right off Ross Avenue.
By Costco.
By Costco, that's right.
Yep.
What other parks? Can you think of some others?
Well, there's 2 other ones in the park in KB.
Okay, that's right. 2 other owners, that's correct. And there's also one on the west side.
Hampton.
Yeah, Hampton has one. And there's actually, when you look at it, there's also another one east of Glen Falls as well. Okay. And my point is the fact that when we're looking at today's market right now, many people only focus on residential homes. And if your budget is tight, I've always believed that if you can get a $150,000 to $200,000 mini home compared to a $150,000 to $200,000 house, right?
I preach it every day.
Yeah.
I preach it every day. I'm actually showing a mini home today.
Okay.
Like, and you walk in them, and it's there's the stigma isn't there anymore. They're
No.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And I say to people, like, just go look.
That's right.
Go look.
Yeah.
Based on your budget, like, this is a beautiful home, and you can live here comfortably.
Correct.
And yeah, no, they're great. That's not the way it used to be.
Okay. And so again, we do sell them, and there are many questions that you as a client should know. And that's why having a knowledgeable realtor helping you, you'll want to know what the pad fee is. The pad fee will be going up every year, whether or not you like it or not. It's just what is going to happen. But within your pad fee, there is a specific part within St. John that the water and sewer is not included. So that's going to be an additional, $125, $130 a month, where most of those, your water and sewer, is actually part of the pad fee. The other thing to keep in mind about the pad fee is that when we go through and we sell these mini homes, the park application is extremely important. You may be interested in buying one, but you may have a big dog and they may not allow them. Most of them will not allow you to buy and rent them out. Right?
That's right.
So there are different rules and regulations when it comes to that as well. Now, one thing I will say though, is when I look at our market right now, when we see that the inventory is tight, inventory on good mini homes is also tight. So when they do come up, they sell, and they sell because just like what you said, Brittany, the stigma is gone. Many of the mini homes out there are absolutely gorgeous. And again, one level, 1,000 square feet usually of living space, and is definitely a possibility, an opportunity for people when they have a specific budget. Okay. Now, talking about budgets, I'm going to put you both under the bus on this one. I was looking at, I was looking at if somebody was to budget their expenses. So they look at, of course, cable, power, heat, right, and water and sewer and so forth. When I went on NB Power, you know what they said is the average power bill?
Ooh, I'm gonna guess like equalized.
Well, there's
300.
300.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it's a fair guess.
Okay.
You say 3.
You both are completely out of the water.
You're gonna say
He-
200?
$135.36.
What?
Exactly. I don't. But that is what I couldn't get over now. So
They're lying.
well,
Yeah, they're like, no, we're
I am telling you, if you both will check that afterwards. NB Power, $135.36. I then went on to a budget. You go ahead. I then went on to a budgeting plan that actually had that specific number. So I know they got that from where I got it. Now,
Interesting.
the other budgeting numbers that were on there, I thought were all out of whack too.
Yeah.
They said your monthly phone was $25. I don't know where they're getting a phone.
What?
Yeah. $70 for internet. They had a number for cable. They had $100 for water and sewer. The heating, I know the utilities, the gas, they said was average $124 a month.
the math isn't mathing.
Well, they were saying that, and again, I have the exact number. I think it was $368 without your heat is what they were saying per month are your expenses. Now, when I look at that, yes, I know you're going to
That's what some people are paying for home and auto insurance,
that's right.
you know?
Right.
Will you?
Look, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I don't know. But what I can tell you is this is the important information that we at Team Somerville hope to bring you, the client.
Yeah.
And not that it's $135.36, but the fact that, again, the numbers in our eyes are not probably what most people would spend. So we would want to make sure that at the end of the day, thanks, my focals.
I do money when it's
Yes,
fun.
I know. We would want to make sure that you're speaking about proper numbers. So you're right. Average, I think throughout the year, my power bill will probably be somewhere between 275 and 325. Right?
That's
And
the hot tub, right?
that's with the hot tub,
It's with the hot tub.
but I just couldn't get over the numbers right on his line.
Just not right. And it brings me back to something that Tim and I have talked about in the past was when we're out with clients, we talked about, making fun of, grinding my gears type of style. They would ask, like, what are the heating bills? What are the heating bills? And that is very important information. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But when we're in the home and you're sweating to death and you're asking me, what are the heating bills? And I tell you they're $400 a month and you're like,
no.
well, I can't afford that.
Now I get
Well, it's a sauna in here.
Yeah,
So there has to
How many people live in the home? How many, you can't compare the two. Was it vacant for the last 6 months?
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of factors to take into play.
Yeah.
And again, with let's say you're worried about insulation, we're seeing lots of inspections still. They kind of cut back up on us. If that's an issue, we can look into it.
Yeah.
There's just so much that goes into it. I even heard of a case. There's a lot of cases down in the States where there was a grounding issue. And so electricity was constantly flowing and going into the ground.
Really?
But of course, the meter is spinning.
Of course.
So, anyways, that's a 1 in a million case, idea or occurrence.
Yeah.
Sorry, but again, if your average bill is 200 and like you said, I don't know where this $130 is coming from, but 250. These are great average numbers.
I will tell you that they're trying to base that without gas. And so it's funny because this was for New Brunswick. And when you think about how many providers, or sorry, I shouldn't say providers, how many people actually are provided gas as their heat source, there are not many. The majority of the people that we see, their heat, lights, everything is through electricity.
Absolutely.
Whether or not it's electric baseboard, electric forced air, the heat pumps, electric hot water, these are all heated or powered through electricity.
Absolutely.
So I was very surprised, and I know you guys are going to check that out.
Oh, it's the first thing I'll do.
Right?
And we've got a lot of friends and families across, Canada that are big on their gas.
Yeah.
And no, we just love our electricity here.
Oh, yeah. So now I'll ask Michael. We have a few minutes left. Do you have something you'd like to add?
I had a few ideas. So quick update on the interest rates. I
Yes.
know that they've been below 4%, but
Yeah.
recently Tim and I were talking to a couple brokers, and we're seeing some at 3.94. And that again is no loyalty to whatever bank you may be with and things like that. So your own personal bank. I know I've got TD. You probably got Scotia, RBC. Whoever you're using, they maybe have access to special rates because of you've been with them for so long, loyalty. They might even be able to take 10 basis points off. So interest rates are at a great, and I would say comfortable. I know we've argued about this plenty of times. It's a comfortable rate. If you're still holding it for 1.99, stop holding your breath.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the rates.
Yeah.
And another thing I want to talk about.
Well, wait. But please don't go to Vinny and Guido, right? You can do the do your come on, dear Marlon Brando. Give me every food and shit. Anyway, it's 3.9. No, for them it'd be 15%, 20%. Here we go.
I'll break your knees.
Yeah. Okay, go.
Yes. So spring market, it's coming. Like I said before, we're starting to feel it. And we have a lot of people reach out and they ask, what are some things I can do to the home to get it ready to sell? But I'm kind of strapped on cash. So I've got a few little things here. My colleagues will jump in at any time.
I know my favorite, but go ahead.
Again, the biggest one is fresh paint.
Okay.
Fresh paint.
Yeah.
Yes, paint's no longer 20 bucks a gallon. You know what I mean?
No.
But it's still your cheapest, cost-effective way to add value to the room.
Freshen it up.
Yep. And a lot of times we walk into a place and people, the buyers are like, oh, fresh paint. That tells them we've done work to the home.
I agree.
So it's an olfactory sense that,
Yeah.
tells them like we care and we're making changes. If you have the opportunity, there are some cost-effective cabinet resurfacing options. If you're able to maybe sand them down. I know Rust-Oleum has a kit that you can kind of restain them. Again, that adds more, it adds visual value.
If not, even just the fixtures on the cabinets makes a world of difference.
I agree. No, I agree.
Change out those handles.
No, that's right. Very good point. If you have sometimes they don't match, make sure that you know the exact size.
Perfect. And I was going to mention that it's hardware. Hardware is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And I would say, use your big providers such as Amazon, things like that. You can buy bulk packs, not putting down the other businesses.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of great options there.
So now I'm going to stop you because I'm going to jump to.
I said
So you said about paint.
Yeah.
So my favorite is the door, your front door. If you can paint it black, paint it a nice dark color. What happens is it usually just shouts out and says, wow. A white door is nice. Don't get me wrong. And I wouldn't want you to go slap paint on it just to paint it black. But if it's done well, a nice, newly, freshly painted front door sure screams, wow. And now the other thing is, and again, and I'll just say is when we look at, ways of, keeping the budget down while trying to sell, I always believe it's waist up. So when you're walking through a home, what's waist up? So the paint, you're right, but even your light fixtures, right? And now flow though, right? You want the same similar light fixtures throughout. You don't want some chandelier here, some white lamp here, some white light here, some brass here, some pewter here, and then some. You want to try to have it so that again, the symmetry and the similarity throughout is very important.
And keeping in mind things like if you have a small room, you don't want something big and it's
Gaudy.
you want it to utilize the space and make the space look right. So you're gonna have something closer to flush on the ceiling and more modern, and it's gonna really stand out, right?
Expressive, impressive, but not obtrusive, right? So you,
You practiced that this morning.
no, geez, yes, telling you. So what else you have?
Real quick, if you had older appliances and you've been thinking about upgrading them anyway, and if it is an option for you, stainless steel goes a long way. Again, that's kind of the high end of where I want your budget to be.
Yeah.
Because stainless steel appliances will cost you. Again, it's all about that first appearance and people coming in and feeling like this is going to be my home.
Well, kitchens, bathrooms sell, right? Yeah. So if you're going to focus, those are the two areas that, again, a lot of times will help sell your home.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And if you love having a green thumb, a couple bags of mulch goes a long way too. Let's say you got a flower bed or something like that, just freshening up some mulch.
That's right.
Again, these are all cost-effective ways to kind of spruce up the place. And again, we're a very visual place. That's like you said, waist up. We're very visual people.
And we have a rule that 15 seconds, your first 15 seconds at the home, not in the home, but at the home is going to really determine whether or not they're considering buying that home. So again, having that curb appeal, having the door, opening it up and seeing that fresh paint, what a way to really make it impressive. Okay. So it's been a slice.
Yeah.
Happy to have Brittany Donnelly here.
Appreciate you joining us.
Yes. And I know we'd love to have you back sometime.
Yeah.
You
Freeze up the place.
Yes. So what we'll do is this. We would love to see you at the home show. We will tell you that we look forward to our next podcast. And other than that, I'm Tim Somerville.
And I'm Michael Dempsey.
And this is Off the Market with Team Somerville.